outside, come inside. Behind the glass, there's a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, patience outside. Yeah, easy to break apart. Grass are short, don't get your hands wet. It happened out on the T-show. It's a dynamo. You gotta see the show. It's rock and roll.
Dominguez and Bourdais, and we have a problem on the racetrack. One car is off.
On the wing is off.
Yep, looks as though it might be. It's one of the MyJack cars.
Nelson Philippe. Nelson, I mean, he's well buried. This is the MyJack Conquest. See the wing gone completely off the stays. This is one of our 18-year-old drivers, teammate to Andrew Ranger.
Full course caution for the first time today on lap 7. We've got another look at it for you.
Okay, in the brake zone. Oh, he gets us. Oh, his teammate comes down the inside. Whoa!
That's young Andrew Ranger, also 18, and a rookie in the yellow MyJack car.
Wow, talk about getting dumped into the boonies by your brother. Man, I can't believe he did that. And Ranger almost took himself off the road.
Now, did Nelson Philippe just not give him enough room there, Derek, or did Ranger go someplace where he shouldn't have gone?
No, Ranger went someplace he shouldn't have stuck his nose. Have a look here. In fact, Nelson Philippe, watch him right here. You see him begin to wiggle slightly in the brake zone, but Ranger has his mind made up. I'm going down the inside, going down the inside. Now I can't stop, can't stop. My teammate turns in. Oh no, hope the team owner isn't watching. How can I blame somebody else? Oh, I'm gonna get sideways myself. Boom, he's in the wall. I escape. Man, how am I going to make an excuse about this?
Well, it looks like they're going to refire Nelson Philippe's number 34 MyJack Conquest machine. He perhaps can drive it around the pit road. They can put the getting great mileage, and his tires haven't given up as much yet.
Okay, this is
one car around. One car around at the head of the backstretch. It might have been Del Monte in that 41 again, and it is. Second time today that the new Jensen Motorsport entry, the Konica Minolta 41, has gone around, and we'll have at least a local yellow.
Tony Cotman did tell us he was going to try and clean up as many as he could under local yellow. So he's got to get him turned around and get it fired, or he's going to be forced to go full course yellow as Bourdais comes in.
Race leader heading to pit road, coming your way. Andy has retaken the lead, but there's trouble on the racetrack.
Oh,
Ranger has put the 27 car into the tire barriers. So on cold tires, just after that pit stop, fuel load taken, brand new Bridgestone Potenza Reds.
Okay?
Ranger lost it. Have a look at what happened. Oh, he had contact.
He got drop kicked by one of the HVM cars and just buried into the tire wall. What a shame for Andrew Ranger. It does cause a full course yellow.
And that will bunch the field up for the restart. Fourth full course yellow of the day. Jan Beekes, this doesn't help Sebastian Bourdais' cause.
No, it doesn't. I know you didn't want to see a yellow, Craig Hampson, but the car looks just perfect.
Yeah, we really kind of struggled.
This is really important, and bringing it up slowly is ultra important.
Marcus Marshall in one of the Team Aussie Vineyard cars from the Derek Walker team off the racetrack and in the weeds. And this is a kind of a revisiting of what we talked about at the top of the broadcast. This has happened a lot this weekend.
It has, and for the people who already put in hot laps, a.k.a. Paul Tracy, they're laughing right now. But you have someone like Bruno Junqueira we just saw. This is going to bring out the red. He's just in the cycle of bringing up those pressures, and now he's got to start again.
Another look at Marshall in the 5. The Aussie Vineyards car backwards, no harm done, but you pick up a lot of dirt and so forth in the undertray in a situation like that.
That is the place we've seen a lot of cars off the racetrack, and he has been one of them that has done that on the previous corner, dropping a lot of wheels. The tires get dirty. no adhesion, especially on a low grip racetrack.
Champ Car's flagman J.D. Wilbur for displaying the red flag. Now the time clock doesn't stop in this situation.
It does not. They only have a guaranteed 20 minutes during this. I mean, there will be time. This will be rectified quickly, but it always makes you just that much more nervous if you don't have your time in.
And as we've watched practice and qualifying Friday and some laps here today, we've seen a lot of drivers put a wheel off. Dirt has been cast up on the racetrack in many places.
Good battle here between
one car around. The DHL Global Mail car. Timo Glock has spun. We'll see if that is a local or a full course yellow. Glock facing the wrong way, and that will be a full course yellow. J.D. Wilbur gets the 2 yellow flags out. So our first full course caution of the day, 8 laps of 76 complete with a spin by Timo Glock. We'll be back with more from Fundadora Park. Tracy, the winner here in 2003, on his way to his Champ Car World Series crown, up to second after a weekend, Jan, in which he spun a lot Friday, spun quite a few times yesterday, managed to qualify well. What's he found?
Well, I just think they found a little bit of balance. One thing that Timo Glock did not find, and this is more a case of coming in with a little bit too much rear brake, maybe a downshift a little bit late, and that is obviously the slowest and sometimes most slippery corner, and that was unfortunately wasn't able to get the clutch in and keep it running.
So Glock gets. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. Second event of the season in Monterrey, Mexico, and our fourth full course yellow of the day, Ricardo Spirafico. And this is not one of those things you like to have happen.
No, he came off the corner, and obviously that was nothing to do with the driver. Somehow the rear wheel came dislodged. Now, he pitted 9 laps ago, so it's not like it wasn't tight. Something just appeared to have broken, and that wheel passed him down the straightaway and definitely had a head of steam on it.
Tire fortunately bouncing through an open area. Those things are heavy, and when they're moving like that, it's a pretty dangerous thing.
Thankfully, like you said, it went to a safe area. Now you say, what about the tethers? They do have tethers on these cars, but that only holds the suspension units on. If a wheel comes undone, there's nothing to stop it.
So Dale Coyne's 11 car for Spirafico crunched to the right rear corner, and we are under caution for the 4th time. Of Junqueira in 4th, and Justin Wilson, the Champ Car number 9, in 5th. Todd Lewis, fuel mileage may well be a determining factor. Dominguez through the grass again.
Wow. That is exactly what is trying to play out at various levels down here on pit road. Team Australia also trying to work their mileage. They need to hit 47 to make it at one more stop. Both the Bell Micro car and the Gulfstream car trying to get to 47 to make it to the end.
Looks like we may see another full course yellow for Jimmy Vasser in the Gulfstream Lola, the 12 car. Vasser dead in the water off the racetrack in the grass. You can see Jim there waving for some help. And the Gulfstream car has stopped on the race course with 37 laps complete. Vasser was in the top 10 at the time of that incident. A look up on the pit box of the Gulfstream team. Jim McGee in charge of this team now. 80-some Champ Car victories for McGee as a team manager. Safety team 1 from the Champ Car staff out there to rescue the 12 car and get Vasser pointed in the right direction. Running order at the top of your screen. Lap times last time around. Another look at what may have happened here.
Whoa! That was Andrew Ranger, got to the inside of him right as he was turning and then thought, look out, here comes Andrew. And wow, you don't see these cars snap quite that way. And that's why, of course, yes, we saw for the second time Dominguez going across the grass. Now that explains it.
Just at halfway, we've had 5 cautions already. Now there's another incident on the course. We're hearing that Nelson Philippe and Ryan Hunter-Reay may have gotten together.
Philippe goes to the inside. And Hunter, I'm not sure that they rub, but he certainly didn't do Hunter-Reay any favors there. And that's the case. You go to the inside, you go to pass, and it's very tough to get the car stopped, and no room at all for Hunter-Reay.
Ryan Hunter-Reay in the Briggs & Stratton 31, riding here with Dominguez in the 7.
Yo.
That's why he went through the grass. He saw Vasser right in front of him, so the Indycar car makes its second trip through the fescue of the afternoon. And we are under caution once again. Tracy picked up as the leader. Back at Monterey on speed. 5th, make it 6th caution of the day now because Jimmy Vasser has had contact with Timo Glock and he has stopped in the grass. Let's take a look at what happened here just moments ago. Vasser and Glock side by side.
Vasser tries to get to the inside. They make contact. How Timo got around the outside there, a brilliant bit of driving on his part. Jimmy just tried to get in there, and like I said...
Oh, here comes Bourdais, trying to get by Tracy on the inside. He may have him.
Oh, they touched.
Contact.
D'Amata in the grass.
D'Amata through the lawn, trying to get by Junqueira and move up.
But there was big contact between Tracy and Bourdais.
D'Amata did get around. Tracy's got problems.
He's out.
Tracy with a broken front suspension on the left corner. Unbelievable.
We thought the defining moment was the pits. It was turn 5. It had nothing to do with the pits.
So Paul Tracy, who won this race 2 years ago, will not win it today. Let's listen.
Just parking out there, dude. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Neil Mickelwright ever calm on the radio. One more look. Bourdais to the inside of Tracy.
It looks like he's got a pretty good move on him there.
Right rear tire only and have a good look at the car, guys.
That's the crew for Sebastian Bourdais. Talking to him on the radio. But, oh.
The car. We just go on. If it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Step nice and easy into your box. Right rear tire change, guys. Have that starter ready.
Bourdais on pit road. They're changing a tire. Right rear, Chris McClure.
The tire is changed. You hear the thrust of the throttle, and off he goes. They were up in the air about 5 seconds or so and got that done. But an extra trip to the pits is costly.
So Bourdais trying to make that move on Tracy, which might have won the race for him. Instead, it doesn't pay off at all.
No, and you know, on the second angle, when we're looking back into the corner, Paul Tracy definitely appears to have given him room. And then when Sebastian comes off the corner, he clips across the front of Paul Tracy. And I'd have to say that's certainly a nice aggressive move by Sebastian Bourdais, but didn't finish it right. Didn't give Tracy room, and that's why we had the heavy contact.
Todd Lewis.
Paul Tracy eases his wounded car to pit lane and pops off the steering wheel, and yes, it is terminal. Front suspension damage on the left side of frustrated Paul Tracy climbing out of the car. We'll get a word with him momentarily. Up to Chris McClure right now.
Well, they're looking over the tire that came off Bourdais' car. I think there's only one wound. Well, there's another circle. There's a little slice here, and back around down there you can see the other yellow circle as they continue to look it over. It wasn't as though they trashed it, but it was just enough to look like little razor cuts, and that took it down.
Yeah, we saw that contact from a couple of different angles. Was that just a racing deal, as they say?
No, I mean, it was, but it was a move for the lead. But I think that Sebastian, I mean, he's trying to hold the car in, but he just didn't give Paul enough room on the exit. I mean, when you're trying to make a move for the lead, you have to kind of weigh. This is the angle that I think really tells the story. Look at Paul. Paul is giving him room. Paul is not going to drive off the outside edge of the racetrack. And as Sebastian comes out, he unwinds the wheel, and I don't think he had to.
And it looks as though D'Amata and the Bell Micro car went to the grass to avoid the incident.
That was a full-on bucking Bronco shot there. But Paul Tracy would have just seen that replay, so now he knows exactly. I mean, he saw it from the best seat in the house. But definitely, I don't think Sebastian on the exit gave any room.
Todd Lewis.
With Paul Tracy on the pit box, and you've had a chance to have a look at it, did you give Sebastian Bourdais room?
Oh, I gave the guy plenty of room. I couldn't have given him any more room, you know, and it was pretty, pretty unrealistic. You know, he came in locked up. I moved out of the way for him and gave him room, and then he just drove over the front tire at the exit of the corner. So, you know, we're out of the race, and he gets a flat tire. We probably would have finished 1-2, so it was a stupid move on his part.
Paul Tracy.
Wednesday night.
Back at Fundadora Park in Monterrey, Mexico, 7th yellow of the day, we presume. It has not flown as yet. Mario Dominguez, and now the full course yellow is issued. Mario Dominguez headed to pit road with a broken race car. He and Jimmy Vasser made contact on the course just a couple of moments ago. Dominguez should have left rear corner damage. There's debris on the racetrack, and Vasser's Gulfstream Lola parked in the grass as well. Let's take a look at what happened just a few seconds ago as Dominguez comes to a stop.
Back to turn 5 again. Dominguez looked like he was having trouble in the corner, like maybe some gearbox issue, certainly off speed.
Chris McClure, what's the story?
Well, he came in off power. The left rear seems to be collapsed, and that has the right front up in the air. The car is not going to be returned to the racetrack. They're beginning to unstrap him and take off the tires, get ready to take it back to the barn because it's done for the day.
Tough break for Mario Dominguez, our behind-the-wheel focal point here this weekend at Fundadora Park. Dominguez with the visor up, and that's a huge disappointment to the 100,000-plus fans who are here today. Second time they've had to do major work to the race car because, remember, they just brought the backup car out for him earlier today.
And here is the best angle. See, Mario Dominguez, there's something amiss. He's going slowly around the outside of the corner, but then for some reason comes in. Jimmy Vasser is at speed, expecting him to stay to the right, and obviously you could just tell in the slow-mo there, serious damage on both cars. But certainly something was already up for Mario.
So Dominguez takes the gloves off. He is unstrapped, has the visor up, waves to the fans. You can hear the applause that he is receiving right now. Now, to the overall run of the race, Nelson Felipe has spent a lot of laps out in front. He is still shown as the leader, but a late caution here now with less than 20 to go. What does that do?
It cooks him. He had a shot, actually. They actually might have had an opportunity to build enough of a gap to duck onto pit road and back out again. And the one thing they did, boy, that's some great car control.
Bernheim really standing on it. He is up in the seat in that 4-car. Here's another look at Allmendinger down the inside.
Comes to the inside, right over the top of the curb. Now, how do you keep it on the racetrack? That's what I want to know. That thing was launched in the air, wasn't turning the way it needed to turn, and amazing, he managed to keep just enough of the outside tires right there. Well, actually, he had no tires on the racetrack briefly, but managed to keep position on
trouble. Serbia in trouble. The AMR 19 has spun coming off the final corner. Does a burnout in traffic. And Serbia, who is running second, gives up the spot. Oh, tough break for the Spaniard. Green stays out. Dale Coyne, you can see the disappointment on his face. Junqueira moves to second. That shuffles Serbia all the way back to 12th. And I'm sure he's got flat-spotted tires now to boot.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Like Dale Coyne said, he was going to probably have to pit anyway.
Just lost it on his own. Nearly collected Junqueira.
Wow!
Allmendinger, what a move! Oh. AJ Allmendinger showing you tremendous car control. One more look.
Both Junqueira and Allmendinger. Allmendinger at the last minute, and then
Back at Fundadora Park, full course yellow yet again, this time with 7 laps to go. Nelson Felipe, who had a great day going, and Timo Glock together in turn 2.
In turn 2 across the curb, and the wheel folds underneath, which is why the front of the car came up.
They were battling for position.
As they come into the frame, okay, so, but see, Timo, that was odd because there were 2 things happening simultaneously. I guess we'll just have to assume that Nelson Felipe had just made contact outside of frame there with Timo Glock.
Glock in the DHL Global Mail car will come to pit road one more time. They were battling for 9th. Glock was 9th, Felipe 10th. Remember, Felipe had led twice here today. Looks to me as though the 8 car is badly off square. Looks as though the left rear corner is bent. It may end their day.
Remember, he has a broken collarbone, so.
You can jump out. I'm sorry.
Rob Hill on the radio.
Get wheels off. Get it up in the air. Get it back to the 10.
So even though that was not a heavy hit, you always are concerned about any kind of bump when you're out there with a bone that's trying to heal. But what a great job. I mean, they got their lap back. As we've said, you don't see that too often. And they were players at the end.
Bruno Junqueira will be the restart leader. How about Andrew Ranger? He's gained 12 positions, qualified 14th. Strategy and great driving have moved the Tide car to 2nd.
In qualifying, they had the tire pressures incorrect. They had set the car out. They were 6th originally, dropped all the way back to 14th, and it shows, you know what, if you have a fast car, you don't have to qualify that well.
6 laps remain. The Wellbox 34 up on the hook. Glock is out of the 8. We'll grab a quick timeout and be back for the finish here at Fundadora Park. Welcome back to Fundadora Park, Monterrey, Mexico, with Jan Bikas, I'm Rick Benjamin. Champ Car World Series, 1 lap till a restart. There'll be 5 laps to go in the 2nd race of the Champ Car World Series season. Behind Mario Dominguez. Dominguez and Bourdais swept us. Oh, 1 car in trouble. Ryan Hunter-Reay puts the 31 car, the Briggs and Stratton machine, hard into the outside wall. We are under caution for the first time this afternoon after just 5 laps. That's coming off the corner off of turn 2. It just snapped around on it. Trying to hear from Brian on his in-car radio.
Radio must be gone.
That was Jeff Champ Car safety crew there on the scene quickly. Hunter Ray, who led all the way here 1 year ago in a night race on the Milwaukee Mile, dominated for the Bourdais team.
What a change for Ryan Hunter Ray. You saw him in our opening of the show on top of the world. Felt so good coming here. Just totally dominated last year. Led all 250 laps in dominant style. Have a look what happens here. Coming off turn 2. He looks as if he's on the right line. Right line, maybe a little bit high, just only a tad, but you see the groove. Watch him now. Okay, just slow down right there, slow down right there. Now see what's happened. See the groove. The groove is the darker area all through here. You saw him get out of the groove, the back of the car come out, and just look at the crunch on the back of the car. An absolute direct hit with the gearbox. The gearbox explodes. That's all the bits and pieces of the race car that you see come off. These are all body parts all the way down through here. One of the important things, of course, is that the yellow flag comes out early enough so his drivers following. Have a look at it in regular speed and just listen. Against the wall.
Knocked the rear wheel off the 31 car, the Briggs and Stratton machine. One more look.
Go on board. On board with Ryan. He's down on the white line. Oh! Gets away. Did you see how violent the impact was? Actually broke the right front suspension from Ryan Hunter Ray's car. These rear impacts are pretty severe. There is Becky Gordon, his girlfriend. Becky Gordon, sister of Robbie Gordon, on the phone with somebody who's probably watching our CBS broadcast here live. There's the team. This is Paul Gentilosi's Rocket Sports team.
Under caution for the first time today. 8 laps are complete of the 225 miles here. That's not the first crash he's had in the last several weeks here, Derek. Both Ryan Hunter Ray and his teammate Timo Glock had wrecked here in testing.
They came here in the test. They were fast. However, they both had big crashes. And the problem with the Milwaukee Mile here is when you make a spin, the speed is so high at any place in the corners that if you spin, you are going to make contact with the concrete at an enormous rate of speed. But it is a great comfort for a driver. I've been in this situation when the rescue crews arrive. It's a great comfort for the drivers to recognize that the Champ Car safety officials are there. They are recognized as the best in the business. So although this does not look routine, he is in very good hands here.
We're told that Ryan has made motions in the car. We believe, hopefully, that he will be okay. We'll have more on that for you when we continue. Under caution at the Milwaukee Mile, the Champ Car Milwaukee 225. We'll be back.
CBS Sports coverage of the Champ Car Milwaukee 225 is sponsored by Bridgestone Tires, passion for excellence, and by Ford, built for the road ahead.
Back at the Milwaukee Mile on CBS Sports with Derek Daly. I'm Rick Benjamin. Under caution for the first time, young Ryan Hunter Ray, who led every lap here and won a year ago, being lifted from his wrecked race car. He has put the Briggs and Stratton 31 hard into the wall off turn 2. It is our first yellow of the day, and Derek, that's a frightening sight to see.
Yes, it is. He is in very good hands, but it is a frightening sight to see because you just never know. He made heavy contact directly with the concrete wall with the back of the car. He did not hit anything sideways, did not use the suspension or side pods to absorb the impact.
And when you back in, that puts all the pressure on the driver himself, on the spine.
And that is the key to these rear impact injuries that these drivers sometimes suffer. There's such an energy because of the high speed that when you back it directly in, that energy goes right through the gearbox, engine, back of the seat, and of course the next thing is the driver.
Of course, all the Champ Car stars wear the Hans device, which would help at least with your upper, your spine, your neck, and so forth. Here it is on board.
Now watch how fast he loses control. He's on the right line. Zing! Right there, and again, look at that right front suspension. He hit so hard backward that it actually tore the right front suspension from its mountings. Now have a look in a slow-mo. Just look. We're going to stop the video at the point of the wall. Okay, we're going to slow the video down. Slow it down and just stop it right about a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, stop it right there. See how the back of the car just crunches up. The gearbox explodes first, and all the internals come out on the racetrack. That is, of course, the rear wing and the bodywork, but you see how it absorbs it. But the problem is the engine is big. As you let the videotape run on here, that is probably the worst type of rear impact a driver can have. The gearbox does explode, but it just doesn't take enough of the energy away. And it's the energy that does damage at times. You see bits and pieces of the bodywork all over the place. And of course, drivers following have to be really careful they don't run over.
Well, they put Ryan Hunter-Reay on a backboard a moment ago. Safety crew 2, led by crew chief Dave Hollander and Dr. Chris Pendersky, the chief emergency physician for the Champ Car World Series, on hand to take care of Ryan Hunter-Reay. Well, when you go oval track racing, a lot of things have to change, including tires. My colleague Derek Daly tells us more in today's Bridgestone Passion for Excellence. Back at the Milwaukee Mile on CBS Sports, our second caution of the day. This wreck at the opposite end from where the first one took place. Andrew Ranger, second 2 weeks ago in Monterrey, Mexico, slipped up out of the groove in turn 4. Derek Daly and crushed the wall. First, though, Mario Dominguez.
Bit of a strange one here. Yeah, watch Dominguez go wide, out in the groove, out in the groove. Oh, manages to save it. And then Ranger follows him and doesn't manage to keep it off the wall. Actually quite a big hit for Ranger against that concrete wall.
So the Tide Myjack 27 takes the right side wheels off. Ranger is out of the car, and he appears to be okay. We learned a lot about Newman Oz, and we will the next couple of weeks here on CBS. One of the Team Aussie Vineyards cars showing a lot of smoke. Looks as though a motor has let go in one of those race cars down the backstretch here at Portland International Raceway, and that could bring out at least a local yellow. We shall see. Marcus Marshall in trouble in car number 15. Or check that, I'm sorry, car number 5. So Marshall, who started last on the grid, Chris McClure, off into the grass.
Well, there was indication down here that there was an engine problem on the track. The Cosworth people were all gathered around with Derek Walker, and they were in consult about what they might be able to do about the situation. But the answer now is nothing, because he's pulling off out there.
And that is Alex Tagliani.
Doing good up till then. Lap time, fuel mileage.
Taking the wheel off. Throwing the visor up. Still under green, so apparently the indications are, and that is the 15 car that is off. That is Alex Tagliani, who had problems. First indication was it was Marcus Marshall, his teammate in car number 5, but we can see that that is Tag. He is in a safe area in the grass down by the Saul in turn 8.
Big crash. Watch him here. He's in control. He loses control right here. Back steps out. Boom! Into the tire wall with a savage force. Tires came right in on top of the cockpit. He was injured. He had some neck injuries. They took him to hospital, but happily he is back today.
Told us this morning a little sore, but he will be ready to go. They have a backup car saddled up for the Rousport Beijing entry. That's car number 10 at AJ Allman. 5 wide into 1. Here comes Allmendinger. Tracy and Bourdais.
So far, so good. Oh, we had one.
One of the Rocket Sports cars is around.
Is that Ryan Hunter-Reay?
He has caught up the HVM cars. That's the Eurosport machine of Bjorn Verdheim. And one of the Rocket Sports entries painted identically this weekend. Everyone else away, so caution in turn 1. Not nearly the big wreck we've seen in the past, but 3 cars involved. Full course caution being declared.
So Tracy does control the run down to the first corner. D'Amata now nice and safely behind him. Tag is safely around. Tag, remember, was blamed for what happened last year.
This is Ryan Hunter-Reay in the Rocket Sports Cytomax number 31, and Verdheim in the Eurosport 4 for the HVM team. Derek, show us.
Okay, so here's Ryan Hunter-Reay right here. He's safe so far. Oh, he gets clipped. He gets clipped on the way in. Look, both HVM cars are right there. They box in Ryan Hunter-Reay. Wow, he almost made it. Almost made it through.
Verdheim's car, the Eurosport 4, has got some damage to the nose, and they will not be able to restart him at that moment. They're going to have to replace the nose cone and fire him back up again. Ryan Hunter-Reay may be able to restart. This is from Ronnie Bremmer's on board.
Okay, so
you can see, I think, that he got pushed from behind. He was able to refire and take off through the grass. But you got a quick glimpse on the right-hand side of your screen. Wertheim lost one of the side wings, the nose of the 4 car. Hunter Ray is away.
It looked like there were almost 2 separate incidents, because if we play this in really slow motion on the way down, Tracy obviously controls it in the front here. Here's Tag on the way down here. That's who they were concerned about. Now here's the 2 cars we're going to watch right here, because Glock is in this Rocket Sports car here. He's clear. Glock turns in. We slow it down right there. There's exactly where Ryan Hunter-Reay gets clipped initially, and that puts Ryan Hunter-Reay into Bjorn Wertheim's car right here. Look at the 2 HVM cars, one here and one here. And the meat and the sandwich is the Cytomax car. Cytomax, a sponsor of this car for this weekend. Oh, look at Wilson beginning to fight. Oh, he gets her sideways. He gets him.
Contact with Dominguez.
And that's exactly the turn 4 bumpy area that we just showed you. When you go over it just a little bit over the limit, the car gets away from you, as it did with Justin Wilson, and the rear tires kicked out and just walloped into an innocent bystander, which was Dominguez.
And there is debris on the racetrack. We're in the immediate area. One more look. Look at this dive to the inside here by Dominguez.
Now, Dominguez has the advantage, but Wilson does not give up. Now, watch when Wilson hits the bumps. Watch it right here. Look him sideways, sideways. Oh, he hits Dominguez. Boom, right there. That looks like the flugelhorn from Dominguez's car gets knocked off. And Wilson's day does not get on, his weekend does not get any better.
Full course yellow for the 2nd time today. And you could hear radio traffic. Wilson being told to stay out, but he slightly got him out in front. And what is this? Looks like Mario Dominguez. Now, he had contact earlier. They had him on pit road, did some repairs, and he has gone off the road and back on.
And one of the beauties. We will always drop out as quickly as we can to try and get in with the radio.
Whoa, broken left front suspension for the Index 7 of Dominguez. This must be a carryover from the incident with Justin Wilson.
This could well be. I'm not sure that this is the same brake zone that Dominguez got involved with earlier on. And look at this. He gets all upside down and inside out. Tries to go inside. Bremer turns in. There is contact, so Dominguez now is out. Definitely, they won't fix that. He is out for the rest of the afternoon. On board at Bremer. Watch the right side over here. Oh, Dominguez just came in like a rocket. Had no hope to stop that car. Did he damage Bremer also?
That was going to be my question. That was a pretty hard hit for both cars. Dominguez headed your way, Ralph Shaheen.
Yes, that he is, Rick. And as you guys have said, it has been a tough day for Mario Dominguez. They've already changed one nose section on this car. He had a flat left rear tire when they did that. He slides to a stop, and the guys just wave it off. Their day is done.
So Dominguez from Mexico City will unbuckle. He already had the
thing in the Pacific Air car before he got injured. As you see, Marshall in the grass. And believe it or not, when Bruno left this team, I know Servi is very good, but the continuity also left. The information flow is no longer the same. You have to learn a new
trouble with Cristiano Damata, the race leader. He's broken the left front corner of that Bell Micro car. Damata is down in the grass. He'll be out of the race.
Well, well, well. When it looked as if he was in control. Now that type of damage usually happens when you hit somebody.
Yeah. Much like what we saw for Mario Dominguez moments ago. Let's have a look here. Here comes Damata. The contact's already occurred. He had gotten into one of the Team Aussie Vineyard cars. Couldn't see whether that was Marcus Marshall, who'd been in the grass once earlier, or Alex Tagliani, who was running 5th, but it is Marcus Marshall in the 5 car. He's got damage to the right rear corner, and there is Damata, the winner a week ago, leading here at Cleveland, crashes out on Burke Lakefront Airport as we are at lap 51. We're past halfway. Damata parked in the lawn, done for the afternoon.
And when you begin to lap another car, you usually recognize the driver. You know his style. You know if you can trust him or not. Damata has seldom raced against Marcus Marshall here, so he takes a chance to try and whiz by him. Remember, he's racing with Tracy. Tracy was only 1.4 seconds behind him. And obviously a crash off turn 8 right in front of us here.
Incident here, and the caution is waving locally, and we have a look. It looks like one of the HVM cars, or perhaps it's Nelson Philippe. We will take a look and try to let you know as soon as we can. This has been an area where there's been a lot of contact. It is the number 4. That would be Bjorn Verdheim in the Eurosport HVM car. He has slapped the wall a ton. Here's a look.
And watch, we have a camera right on the wall here for you. This is where most of the cars got sideways. Oh, boom! It just goes in. That is actually right outside our commentary booth, and it sounded like a bomb went off when he made that contact.
Now, we showed you earlier how A.J. Allmendinger hit the tires, the soft wall at the exit of the corner here, the exit of turn 8. Verdheim missed it and hit the concrete side 2.
Wow, you don't often miss the apex by that much. I mean, he just missed it by a ton. I mean, when you hit this concrete wall, it makes such a wallop. Let's just have a listen as to what it sounds like.
Hard to tell from that angle. We could hear it in our booth here because it happened right outside where Derek and I are sitting. And we saw the local caution being waived immediately. So the Eurosport 4, the HVM team, has certainly had a difficult day.
There's the red Bridgestone. See the sidewall, all painted red. That's the distinguishing mark. So as all the competitors, other teams know exactly what tires you're on. These are faster tires. Bridgestone, of course, brings 2 types of tires. Incidentally, while we talk about Bridgestone tires, for those of you who listened to the Formula 1 race last weekend, I posed the question because there was so much consternation about the tires in Indianapolis at the U.S. Grand Prix. I posed the question, does Firestone, which is a sister company to Bridgestone, give any information to Bridgestone that helped them at the U.S. Grand Prix last weekend? Well, of course, Al Spire from Bridgestone is here. Al Spire is the executive director of Bridgestone Motorsports. He came to me today and he said, I just want you to know there were absolutely no difference with the Firestone tires at the Indy 500 this year. And in fact, he said, not only were they the same tires we used, but there was less wear this year on this new surface at Indy. So if those of you who are F1 fans who wondered, was there a change to the racetrack and that Bridgestone have an advantage last year at F1? Absolutely not. They did not. I just wanted to get that piece out.
Well, let us set the situation for you now. 55 laps complete under caution. Tracy inherits the lead, but this was an incident with Tracy a moment ago.
This is into turn 2. Paul Tracy, look how the car bounces along. We just cut this piece of video. We thought it was worth you having a look. Look, he locks up the right front, locks it up, keeps it locked up. Now, when you lock a right front for that length of time, very often you get the dreaded flat spot. The flat spot is when the tire gets flat where you had the brakes and this wears out. This is the piece that's on the road. The problem is every time you brake hard after that, as soon as it gets to that flat spot, it tends to lock again. Then you get a vibration so bad it begins.
Motor put him out just past halfway, and Wilson out of it, out of the gas as he slips around a corner. He's back on the button now and on the racetrack. Let's have a look and see what happened to Wilson just a moment ago.
This is the brake zone again for turn 4. That's where we saw Paul Tracy lock the inside front.
9 to go, 9 to go.
Boy.
Fuel only, I think.
Wilson has been everywhere except the convenience store this weekend. Just look at that. Gets away with it.
I will read you your speed. You've been about 40 miles an hour. Copy?
One team toss for 4th place. The Aussie Vineyards 15 of Alex Tagliani. Trouble for D'Amata. The Bell Micro car with a cut tire. He has cracked the wall. Cristiano D'Amata, who won in Portland. A couple of cars involved. And that looks to be one of the Dale Coyne cars. D'Amata's around the corner. That's the Sonny's Barbecue 11 car of Spirifico, Ricardo Spirifico. The race is now out of Miami. Caution on the speedway. First time today. The pits are not open is the word, but Tracy may have gotten there before they closed them. We will see.
No, he stayed out. He's down the front.
He's on the racetrack, so he made the right move. He's on the front straightaway.
What's going on?
Fuel. Tracy has apparently run out of fuel.
He's completely out. He can't even make it. Oh, no.
Tracy. Horrible luck for the 3 team.
You want me to
Now, guys, what happened there? They were set up for Paul Tracy. He was supposed to come onto pit road. They closed the pit. He couldn't come onto pit road, and then, of course, appears to have run out of fuel.
And remember, he did short fill to get the lead earlier.
Watching Tracy, last couple of corners.
He starts to come in to the pit lane, and then he is told it's closed. Look at this. He realizes he's out. He's told it's closed. The accident with D'Amata happens. Can you believe?
You can hear the fans cheering. Tracy's gotten out of the 3 car. They're going to carry it back on the dolly. They've decided perhaps his day is done.
That is hard to believe, that we just witnessed a titanic struggle with Paul Tracy driving with half a front wing, managed to maintain the lead. The yellow came out at the wrong time.
He ran it out of fuel, and now he's got the gloves and helmet off, Derek.
I'm surprised they ran him that low, though. You can't take that big a chance. He must have used more fuel than they anticipated.
And we're with Paul.
Jan Beekes.
Wow.
Paul, was it fuel?
Yeah, you know, yellow came out. I had to come in. You can't come in under the yellow, and I'm out of fuel, so that was it.
You can tell the frustration in Tracy's voice. Now, Derek, should he have taken the penalty and come to pit road anyway?
Absolutely, of course. Absolutely. But the bigger question is, I think they probably ran him too low. They ran him too long.
Watch D'Amata.
D'Amata right side, left side of your screen, turns in. Sparrofico was there. Oh, they
launched hard into the wall.
Into each other.
Almost went over. Heavy damage to the Bell Micro car. Here's another look in turn 1.
You know what? Sparrofico came way too wide. When you come out of the pit lane, you need to hug the inside line and not drop kick leading cars. Left side of your screen, Sparrofico. He needs to hug the inside line. Hug the inside line. D'Amata turns in. Now D'Amata's running wide. Look at D'Amata running wide to give him room. Sparrofico now needs to be tight. He needs to be
right side of the track there and let the car go to the line.
You can't turn out onto the line like that.
So 2 cars into the wall. Cristiano D'Amata's Bell Micro car in the wall, done for the day. And the Sparrofico Sonny's Barbecue car, the 11. The Dale Coyne team heavily damaged as well. And who is at the top of the charts? Oriol Servia has the lead under caution with 30 to go. The Champ Car Grand Prix of Toronto. Justin Wilson will be 3rd on the restart. We'll be back. Laps to go. Next time by in a hard wreck. The Eurosport 4 Bjorn Verdheim badly folded up. He has crunched the left-hand side of that car into the concrete, and the caution is right back out again.
Wow, talk about hang on to your hollyhocks. You can't look right or left here without something going on. And the most unfortunate thing is this team has now had 3 big crashes, this being number 3. They cannot afford this.
We talked about Ronnie Bremer stepping out of the 55 car here this weekend. Ricardo Sparrofico, Alex Sparrofico, his cousin, taking that ride over, largely due to financial considerations. He had wrecked that car, the 55, a couple of times, and now Verdheim has tagged the wall a ton in the Eurosport number 4.
Such a shame. There he goes, walks away. Formula 3000 champion, was the Jaguar test driver just last year. Shakes his head. What a shame. This was the Sign-A-Car project. $50 a pop. You could sign the side pod of that car and be represented. There it is there, right behind the Eurosport on the side pod. Many people, they raised $15,000 for charity. There it is right there. Went to the Hole in the Wall gang, Paul Newman's charity, and to some of the Molson charities. Unfortunately, that is not the way they wanted this to end.
Well, just moments ago, we had an earlier hard incident involving former champion Cristiano D'Amata. Ralph Sheen, how does he feel?
Well, Rick, he's made the long walk back. Cristiano, how surprised were you to see Sparrofico moving over on you as he was coming out of pit lane?
I was I had already drove past him, so I couldn't even see where he hit me. Hit me probably in my right rear wheel, so yeah, disappointing again. 2 weekends in a row, 0 points. It's not good.
We were discussing the fact that as a driver comes out of pit lane, he should be hugging the inside line as opposed to drifting wide. Is that the way you understand it as well?
Well, that's the way it should be, yeah. It's not all the time that you're able to do over there. Is you're over concrete, cold tires. Sure, he didn't do it intentionally, but you know, it's already happened. Nothing to say anymore.
Well, this PKV team, Rick, has been on such a positive climb. Tough day for them.
D'Amato referring to the incident at Cleveland a couple of weeks ago where he and Marcus Marshall got together. Bjorn Bernheim awaiting a ride back to pit road. Oriol Serbia will be the restart leader. Caution on the racetrack with 26 laps to go in Toronto. We'll be back.
Between the concrete walls, you've got to be so disciplined.
Oh, trouble. Another tangle.
One.
Couple of cars. Marcus Marshall and Nelson Philippe get together at the back of the pack. They were battling for 9th spot. Marshall is away, but he's got heavy damage, as does Philippe. Marshall will not get that car around to pit road. Philippe trying to get the well box. Myjack 34 pointed in the right direction, but caution is coming back on the speedway.
I didn't see fucking Glock. I didn't see him. I don't know who fucking it was. I didn't see him.
Well.
Got an idea it was something more to do with Marshall behind you. I'm not sure what's going on there, but how are you sitting there?
I was heading to turn 2.
Someone crashed into my wing.
Whatever it is, we need a policeman out there to direct traffic.
Now, we had gone almost 50 laps with no trouble. We've had 3 wrecks in 10 laps, Derek Daly.
Well, Nelson Philippe looked like he got drop kicked by Marshall. Marshall then bounced off Philippe, and he hit one of the Rocket Sports cars.
Timo Glock was right there,
yeah.
The DHL 8 car. Marshall put the car back in gear, tried to drive it away, but the front end badly broken on the 15. And the Aussie, or rather the 5, I'm sorry, the Aussie Vineyards 5 car, dead in the water on the racetrack. So we're back to full course caution with 22 laps to go.
We have another look for you as Marshall sits there. This is on the way into the corner. Now, Nelson Philippe is in the middle. Oh, look at this. It is Ryan Hunter-Reay who comes down, and he drop kicks Nelson Philippe, and they wrap up everybody else. So Ryan Hunter-Reay, who has been so frustrated, he took the daring move down the inside, didn't pull it off. He hits Nelson Philippe.
Marshall's taken the pad out. Philippe has gotten his car restarted. And we are under caution coming up 21 laps to go. Now, the big question at the front of the field, Oriol Serbia, who celebrates his 31st birthday in 3 days, may be on track for his first ever victory on Beacus. What are they saying in the Newman Haas pit?
Well, we'll get back.
Get to shake the champagne and
trouble. Allmendinger clouts the wall on time. Gets hit by Mario Dominguez. Huge wreck as they come toward the start-finish stripe. Off the exchange of corners, that was heading up the backside toward turn 7. Coming off of turn number 5 and 6. Huge wreck for Allmendinger, who was running 3rd.
Did you hear the impact?
Yes.
Dominguez just hit him a ton.
Best news, both drivers have their visors up. That is the indicator that they are okay. So these Lola chassis champ cars do their job. Allmendinger pressing hard to get by Serbia, clouded the wall. This is the onboard look from Serbia's Pacific Air.
Oh, he hits the wall. Allmendinger hits the wall on the right side, and that just catapults him across into the tire barrier. He blocked the road, and of course Dominguez came through on full chat and absolutely walloped into A.J. Allmendinger. Man.
Justin Wilson, just before that incident, had knocked off perhaps the quickest lap of the day, a 59.54. I believe that's the first green flag lap under a minute here in Toronto today.
Wow.
Helping A.J. Allmendinger unbuckle from the Western Union 10 car. Mario Dominguez being taken care of as well in the index number 7. Mario's out, as you can see, standing at the nose of the Champ Car safety team pickup there here on the streets of Toronto. 7 laps to go. And this one could end under caution, Derek Daly. This is going to take a while to clean up.
Again,
another look.
Have a look. This is from Serbia. Watch the white car of Allmendinger. Watch the wall on the left side of your screen. Watch him turn in. Watch him turn in. Keep your eye on it. Watch him. Boom! He hits the wall right there, and it just spears him right across into the tire barrier. Man, that was a tiny mistake. We mentioned it earlier. When you make a tiny mistake on a street circuit between the concrete walls, you can have dire consequences. And there is the result of a tiny mistake by A.J. Allmendinger. He just destroyed. Watch Dominguez. Watch Dominguez come in. He's unsighted. Dominguez, boom, just smashes the side of the Indycar. That was a huge monster hit.
Great job by Andrew Ranger and others to take evasive action. You saw the cars quickly whip to the right as they came around that corner and headed up the little short chute, the kink that heads you back toward the pit area and the main straightaway here. And the fans, more than 145,000 of them here in Toronto today at Exhibition Place, applauding the drivers Dominguez and Allmendinger, safely out of those two race cars, but heavy, heavy damage. So the highs and the lows for Rousport today.
Dominguez must be in shock. Look, he is in shock looking at how can something like this happen when he was running so well. But the Champ Car safety team are all there. Everybody's called to action here, led by Lon Bromley. Safety 2 is Dave Hollander. Mike Carey is an EMT. He heads up safety 3. They've called everybody to try and clean up this mix. But you know what? That was a huge impact. I could hear it.
Sure.
Let's just play it again for you. Just listen.
The sound of carbon fiber tearing.
That almost makes me sick.
Sure.
To hear an impact like that. I'm just glad
back in the month of May, and everyone thought they were going to be in great shape. Jimmy Vassar in trouble. That's the Gulfstream Lola. Vassar spinning into the grass. He has stopped out there on the Bridgestone Reds. Here's a look at it. Got up in the dirt.
Oh yeah, looks like he got the rear wheels into the dirt on the turn in. Once the car begins to change momentum, the weight of the car just sends it off the racetrack. You saw some smoke coming out of the brakes on the right front. Jimmy looks like he stalled the engine, so he's going to sit there until the Champ Car safety crew
of the day with 13 laps to go, and it's the Eurosport 4 car of Bjorn Verdheim. Now remember, Verdheim had a huge impact a couple of weeks ago at Cleveland. Verdheim in the 4 is spun at least. Doesn't seem to be, oh, there it is. The wing is torn off the back. So now the yellow comes out with 13 laps to go, and enough caution laps here could help Justin Wilson get the 9 car, the CDW machine, home in second spot. Jan?
And that is the exact thing that the Rousport team has just determined. They were so hopeful of a yellow because they kept calling Justin, we have to save more, we have to save more. So all of a sudden, when we come back to green, it's going to be a different race between A.J. Allmendinger and Justin Wilson, because then he will have fuel to use and will also close the gap for a very fast Sebastian Bourdais that was closing down.
Bourdais and Servia and Tracy will all have another shot here with about 10 to go. And here's what happened to Verdheim.
Bjorn Verdheim. See what happens here. Oh, he lost it on the way in, and he backs it into the wall. Boom!
It's the tires, knocked the back wing off, though, for the HVM bunch. Verdheim out of the car. The safety team there to help him. He's okay, but they'll put him and take him for a ride to the care center just to make sure that he's fine.
And this is one of the surprises that Verdheim just has not come to grips with Champ Car. I don't know why. He pretty much dominated the European Formula 3000 Championship 2 years ago, and that's where Justin Wilson came from. Juan Montoya came from there. Bruno Junqueira came from there. We expected so much from Verdheim.
Love their motorsports here at Edmonton. Trouble, Justin Wilson under yellow with 9 laps to go has spun. They're taking evasive action. The CDW car, Wilson has to go onto the dirt. Derek, much like we saw in Trans Am action yesterday late in the going, drivers seemingly losing their places on the racetrack. Wilson's second for the restart behind Allmendinger. What happens?
You put on too much horsepower when you run this slowly, and you simply turn around just like that. Now, the problem is, when he backs up, he tries to get back in line. Nobody lets him back in line because that's the position he would have started the restart in. Now he's pretty much shuffled almost back to the back of the field.
Spinning the wheels to get going.
Yeah, but he has to stop. He has to stop right there.
Timo Glock there.
Nobody lets him by. Is that tag? It is tag. Tagliani. Wow, what a mistake by Justin Wilson.
He's got a fast car, and we were telling you just before the break that fuel-wise, things should work out terrifically well. Trying to get by, Timo Glock on the inside. He had a contact. Glock goes around. Wilson trying an aggressive move, turns Glock around.
Oh man, wait till Paul Gentilozzi sees that. Now Wilson had tried it earlier on. Wilson stuck his nose into the first lap on Tracy, and he does it here. Did he damage his own car with that wheel-to-wheel contact?
So the CDW9 of Wilson moves to 4th for now. We'll see if Champ Car might levy a penalty here.
Here we go. Wilson is beside him. He's now beside him. He's over the curb, so he can't stop. Oh, that was a pretty brave move for Wilson to try and pull off, because it would have put him on the outside of the next corner.
P4, 4 laps to go. P4, 4 laps to go.
And
Bring it on.
Glock is going to be pulled behind the wall. His afternoon is over. He had a top 5 day going, Derek Daly.
And before that, have a look at this. This is Wilson right before that incident. Wilson behind him, He's coming inside, He tapped him on that turn as you just came into our picture. So that was 2 contacts with Wilson over those railway tracks. I'm glad they were in single file.
Cars tangling down in the Toyota hairpin. Caution down there. Sperafico in the 11 and his teammate in the 19 car, Ronnie Bremer, who struggled yesterday. They've gotten together. So the 2 Dale Coyne mates are stalled on the racetrack, and they will stay green for now, but at least a local caution. Bourdais is out in front of the McDonald's one, and here's what happened.
And that is a great shame. It looks like
one of the Aussie Vineyards cars got into the back end of it. Looked like Vassar there.
And then, of course, it was a bit of an accordion effect all the way back as they checked up, and it left the 2 Dale Coyne cars. But have a look at the slow-mos here over the railway tracks. This is unbelievable. A sight you seldom see with single-seater racing cars. This resembles off-road rallycross. Man, I've never seen anything like that.
Those are quite impressive whoops here on the front straightaway, no doubt about it. Yes, he was, and had a couple of front row starting spots. Ryan Hunter-Reay has spun the Cytomax 31, the Rocket Sports car, 3rd time today.
Did you start on you, Ryan?
Yeah, you started on me again, just like last time. Just like getting what I mean last time.
In the runoff area, full course yellow up, coming for Hunter-Reay. They just had repaired that car and got him back out there, and the word from the engineering staff you heard, it had died once again. So perhaps not a spin, but just no fire in the hole.
That is frustrating for Ryan Hunter-Reay. He was so spectacular last year, particularly when he won at Milwaukee, led every lap, 250 laps, a record. Jim Marshall. He actually hit the wall on the left side, broke the left suspension, so they're going to drag him back and give him a drink, put him away, polish his helmet, get him ready for the next race. Oh, we're full course yellow. We're all going to have a drink
for the moment. Ricardo Sperafico in the wall. As we told you, A.J. Allmendinger early in the chase. Andrew Ranger got into the wall and caused problems in his oiling system and motor. Nelson Philippe with a mechanical problem. Rodolfo Levine had cracked the wall. And Marcus Marshall, the most recent retiree. Caution again on the speedway today, and we've run 13 laps of yellow so far. This will be our 3rd caution of the afternoon as they go also to retrieve the 31 car of Ryan Hunter-Reay in one of the runoff areas here. Safety crew 3 down there. Dr. Chris Bendersky, who's the medical director of Champ Car, leads that group with Jeff Knapp and Todd Johnson and Mike Carey as they go to work here in the streets of San Jose. What a wonderful event. First time Festival of Speed. Ronnie Bremer going by in the AMR 19 car. Bremer may benefit. Welcome back to San Jose on Speed. 2002 Champ Car champion Cristiano Tabata. Turn 4 again. Let's have a look.
Again, just brushes it with the right front and then just whacks it with the right rear.
Peeled the tire off the rim. He hit it so hard.
I don't know whether he can, no, I was going to say, I don't know whether he can limp back to the pits. There's so much damage on that. They're going to have to hoist him out of there. Just a couple of minutes ago, his teammate, Jimmy Vassar, appeared to break another suspension on the left rear corner of his. There's Dave Hollander. Dave Hollander here. Long time member of the Champ Car safety crew.
Wide for 2nd spot. Allmendinger on the outside. Contact, 4 wide. A couple of cars hit. I believe that's Vassar. That may be Wilson involved. 3 cars with heavy damage. A couple of cars have stopped. That should be Timo Glock. And we believe that's Spirafico there involved as well. Justin Wilson got caught up in it. Tracy leads. Allmendinger has moved to second. They're on pit road. Third spot belongs to Bourdais. He got out-muscled by Allmendinger. We go full course yellow, working the first of 97 laps today. Heavy damage to the Intel 9 of Justin Wilson. The Bell Micro car of D'Amata is there. That is, in fact, Timo Glock. Look at D'Amata's front end, Derek Daly. He's had huge damage. Looks like Alex Tagliani's Lola, his Aussie Vineyards car, with heavy damage too as they came to the start in turn 1. And Jimmy Vassar gets punted into the tires. He needs some help. He should be able to refire the 12 car.
Wow.
Calvin Fish.
Alex Tagliani has made his way back to the pits. Now looks like his day may be over. Major damage here to the Team Australia car. What a shame. Alex making this 100 star in Champ Car competition in the thick of the points battle between 5th and 8th. And the team are going to look this over. But suspension damage, wing damage, that was unexpected in that first turn. They thought they should get through there cleanly.
Last year there was a turn 1 incident as well. Bourdais got turned around by Bruno Junqueira. Let's have another look.
And we're going to play it in slow motion. There's 3 wide right behind Paul Tracy and Bourdais. That's okay, but watch back here. That's where it looks like D'Amata, I believe, right there just smashes into the side of Justin Wilson. Jimmy Vassar then gets collected. So both PKV cars get taken out in the same incident. Low angle for you. Watch the left side of your screen over here. That is Vassar. That is D'Amata right on top of Justin Wilson's car. Servi gets walloped also by Glock. Glock is back here. Alex Tagliani is right there. Also limps away, badly wounded. Calvin?
Tag, we didn't expect that in the first turn. What happened? Did you see?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm very disappointed. Cristiano did like a bonsai move coming on the inside. I don't know what he was thinking. He took off a couple of guys. I got hit both sides and damaged the car. So I'm very disappointed in people bonsaiing like that at the start.
Well, the words say it all. I mean, just didn't expect it down there. They should be able to get through that turn cleanly.
Justin Wilson there with his helmet off already. The PKV cars of Jimmy Vassar and D'Amata. Vassar looks as though he may be able to restart. One more look, Derek.
Have a look again. So D'Amata is back here. Watch D'Amata goes inside Tag. Watch Tag right there in the green and white bump. Smacks Tag first right there. And then he collects Justin Wilson, goes up on top of him. Tagliani bounces off and hits Ranger on the inside. So there looks like there was 5 or 6, maybe 7 cars who ultimately made contact there. But Justin Wilson, who's carrying one of our onboard cameras, have a look at this here. Now watch right side of your screen over here. That's where D'Amata appears. Great start here by Justin Wilson to squeeze inside Dominguez. Now he thinks he's clear. That's his teammate over here to the left side, which is Allmendinger. Watch right side of your screen here. Wilson backs off. Here go, bang, boom. D'Amata smacks into the side. Brakes our onboard camera. Again, low angle. You see Vassar will appear backwards first. Right there. There's D'Amata on top of Wilson right here. Watch Servia. Servia gets hit right there by Glock. Bremer in the American Medical Response Car escapes, but look at the damage to Tag.
Looked as though one of the AMR cars got through cleanly as we see Cristiano D'Amata helmet in hand heading race leader Paul Tracy. Now we've had, in big trouble. One car in the wall. Is that PT? I believe Paul Tracy has stuck the 3 car in the wall. Tracy has walled the 3 car a ton. Full course yellow, and Tracy has wrecked hard. Dominguez drives by. He has knocked the right side wheels off the 3 car and the nose off it as well.
Are you okay out there?
Neil Mickelwright talking to PT. Down in turn 4, we do believe. Tracy's got the visor.
Tracy's car, as you can see, is absolutely destroyed. That is in kid form, if ever there was one. The leader, this has championship implications. The crash now hands the lead to Sebastian Bourdais. And this is turn 4. This is up on the public roads. This is the area that we said earlier on.
Right off the corner, Derek, as though he couldn't turn the car. Now that makes you think he had a tire down.
He just smashed straight into the concrete wall.
Tracy all alone out in front by 10 seconds. Jan Bikus, what does Neil Mickelwright have to say?
Well, Neil just had an opportunity to see the replay. Could you tell at all from the replay what might have happened to Paul?
No, on the replay, all I could see is the car comes out of the corner, goes straight into the wall. So I didn't see what happened preceding that. So I wasn't able to talk to him, knocked the radio off the car. So.
He's getting out of the car, so we assume he is okay. But typically, that was in a place where he wouldn't go off. Do you think it could have been some kind of either mechanical or tire problem?
Obviously, we're going to have a look at the data and see what we can see. We weren't able to talk to him, and we've got very little evidence from what we saw on screen, so we'll just have to look into it and find out.
Prior to that, it looked like everything was perfect. Was he happy with the car?
Certainly, yeah. The car was running fine. Everything was good. We were just having a bit of problem with some traffic.
Sorry about your tough day.
All right, thanks.
Now the thrill from West Hill sees a textbook drive. He had led every lap except when he went to pit road. Come to grief off of turn 4. Watch this, heading under the Bridgestone Bridge. The car would not turn. He had the brakes locked, missed the tires, and plowed into the concrete barriers here in Denver. Tracy ruins that car, and a great run for the pole sitter, second in the championship, the 2003 Champ Car World Series title holder. This race ends prematurely on lap 63, and this puts Bourdais out front for the upcoming restart.
Just going to roll this back nice and slowly to see, is there any indication as to what happened here? Because Paul Tracy, I don't see any wheels locked. Just roll it back, roll the video forward again. He missed the tires completely. He simply looks like he's coming out of turn number 2 on the run up. This is turn 2 coming out. I don't see any brakes locked. He's out of the groove. Look, here's the groove right here, the black piece. He's out of the groove. Then the brake smoke. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think he might have just got out of the groove onto the marbles that we just mentioned earlier. Yeah, and the car wouldn't turn. And I think he just walloped into that concrete wall.
Huge damage to the Indycar 3 car. So safety crew 2 for Champ Car there. Dave Hollander, who's the crew chief. He's an EMT from Clark, New Jersey. Todd Johnson, Mike Young, Mark Kester, all there to take care of the Indycar car and the driver, Paul Tracy. So full course yellow for the second time today. May well get our first caution of the day, and there it is. Spirifico takes the wheel off. You can see him moving. He's okay. I think the rear wing may have come off, Derek. The nose definitely broken off. Full course yellow with 22 laps to go. First full course yellow of the day as Spirifico takes the belts off and climbs out. This is from Paul Tracy's onboard coming down the straightaway, and the wing went flying over Tracy's race car. Rear wing had come off the car. There you see A.J. Allmendinger locking up the brakes. Both he and Tracy went through. They missed the timing line there, but since the yellow was about to come out, I doubt if there will be a penalty. Pits are closed. Second time this weekend, Spirifico's had a hard wreck. He wrecked Friday during practice. They put a whole new car together essentially for him, and now he makes that, at least it's a short walk to get back to the pit stall, and we're under yellow with Bourdais the leader. Now, 57 laps, 21 to go. I think this sets up a very interesting strategic situation. Chris McClure, Jan Bikus, maybe you can weigh in with your thoughts. Can they stop under this caution and get the rest of the way home?
Absolutely, not a problem at all. They're in the window. They had already looked on their sheets, and they were looking for if you want to pit now, because we have a few dark clouds around. They were considering staying out longer in case they needed rain tire, but right now, let's get back to Rick.
All right, problems for A.J. Allmendinger. You'll see him, Jan, in a moment. His left front tire is cut down. I think he ran over that wing as it flew off Spirifico's car. We had a great look. I'm sure we can show it to you again. We were on Paul Tracy's onboard look. You saw the wing go flying over Tracy's head and out the back. Watch this as they come under the casino bridge. And Allmendinger clipped it. That's what flattened his tire. You could see the wing off the 11 car go flying over Tracy. There's Allmendinger standing on the brakes with that cut tire. He couldn't get to pit road. He had missed the entrance to pit road. He and Tracy both missed the timing line. Now here's the Western Union 10 car. Very much a strong day. And he saved the car himself. Oh, what car? One of the Indycar cars into the wall.
Tracy.
Paul Tracy into the wall hard. The race leader. He's lost the rear wing. The right side of the car heavily damaged. Caution for the first time tonight. A huge impact for the Indycar.
You okay there, buddy?
Oh.
Yeah.
Paul Tracy indicating he's injured.
Well, are you hurt?
He's moving. He's taking the steering wheel off. He's peeling off his gloves.
I don't think so.
That was a huge wallop. It's obviously.
What happened? We just lose it or what? No, Sebastian hit me.
Tracy saying he was hit by Bourdais. Litter all over the racetrack. Caution for the first time tonight with 42 laps to go. You heard Neil Mickelwright talking to Paul Tracy, and he said, "I'm hurt." Then he said on the second call, "No, I'm not."
He said more than that. He says
he did.
He says Sebastian hit me. Oh,
There
he
it
did.
is.
Oh, man.
He gave him the chrome horn going down into turn 3. Bourdais with a huge lump.
Now watch the impact here. This is 200 miles an hour. What's this? Boom! Turns the car almost up on its side. And as Tracy correctly said, I won't say it like him. Yeah, that hurt. Sebastian Bourdais, our championship leader, just wallops into the back of our leader, Paul Tracy.
Bourdais with damage. You can see it there on the front of the 1 car. There it is. The
That
nose
is Tracy's tire right there.
The nose cone scuffed hard.
Wow.
And it didn't look, Derek, as though Tracy had backed off or anything like that. Let's have a look. We've got an onboard view from Oriol Servia, who was running 3rd at the time.
So Servia's watched this show pretty much all evening. This is going down now to turn 3. Long, straight, back straight. It all happens in front. There's crash on the right side.
You couldn't really see it very well. Servia a little too far back in the shot there to give us a good look. But obviously from our high look down into turn 3, you could see that Bourdais got up under the back wing and probably tagged Tracy in the gearbox.
There it is. Look at that. There's the telltale sign. You can't get away with this.
And he's got.
Oh, look at that.
He's got dive planes knocked off.
I'm going to slow this down for you. Bourdais is on the high side.
Tracy moved up to block him.
No. Bourdais now. Remember, this is 200 miles an hour here. Now they're going down the backside. This is into turn 3. Tracy's going to back off slightly. I'm going to slow it down for you. I'm going to stop the video right at the point of impact. Slow it down. We're going to slow it down. Bourdais now. The front wing is like a scoop. A little bit there, a little bit further. Into turn 3. This is above 200. Oh, he goes to the outside.
He got the gearbox.
Bourdais goes to the outside. There's the point of impact, and he actually hits Tracy's right rear wheel, scoops him up, and then sends him into a spin. I think Bourdais simply misjudged his movement to the outside line.
We're being told that Paul Tracy was planning a pit stop.
Look at that impact. Car gets up on 2 wheels. That is a huge, huge destruction shunt.
And it's a great thing that the safer barriers are in place here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, because Tracy side-slapped that wall a ton. Chris McClure.
Paul Tracy was on his way to the pits. His crew was over the wall. The man, Steve Moore, on the right front, had already started waving his arms so that he would be ready when Paul came around the curve, which he never did. Let's go to Jan.
And now we have a chance to look at the nose cone. And it does not appear as though that is going to be something that will be replaced. And Sebastian Bourdais has already said on the radio, how would I know if Paul Tracy was going to pit? There was no signal whatsoever. 11.8 second pit stop. So now that is confirmation that we heard from the Indycar team. Paul Tracy was coming into the pits, checked up. Sebastian Bourdais was drafting and punted him.
And you know what, Jan? I'm on Bourdais' side on this one. I think he's absolutely right. Bourdais was moving.
As the field files through, oh, it's already a crash. Massive crash. D'Amato tagged the back of Servia. Both those cars have got damage. And D'Amato will be out of the motor race, and Servia's stalled there. I don't know how much damage to his car. So the pole sitter out of the race in the first 250 metres. And one of the Forsyth cars is damaged as well. Is that Tracy or Dominguez? I think it's Dominguez. Paul Tracy leads. Full course yellow is expected. Sebastian Bourdais is through. There's AJ Allmendinger in 3rd place. And the next man through. Let's have a look at the replay here. We'll see what happens. Watch for Servia. The second car gets tagged. Oh, big contact.
Well, Tracy caught a flyer.
This is D'Amato getting right into the back of Servia. Turns him round aggressively in the first chicane.
and the pits are closed, incidentally, while all this goes on.
Tracy caught a flyer for a P4, and that, in effect, helped him get away from that carnage which caught Mario Dominguez.
Yeah, Dominguez has copped front right damage, and he'll be out of business. Paul Tracy was situationally aware. He moved to the left and straight lined the chicane. Look at the damage here on the Dominguez car. He came into this race with a bad dose of the flu after the long 14-hour journey across from the US. He's been feeling woeful all weekend, but he was absolutely delighted with his practice and qualifying form. He's going to have less than a smile.
Of course, yellow call.
Turn 3, there's
there
an
it is.
incident, and here's the reason. Willpower is in the wall. The car backed up. Broken rear wing, and that is very disappointing for the young Australian on his Champ Car debut.
I was just about to say he's in 8th place, one spot away from where David Bernard finished last year, and he mentioned earlier this week he is taking a leaf out of Bernard's book, not trying to be too gung-ho and just patiently stay out of trouble and get through the event. And quite extraordinary.
We just don't know at this point whether he tangled with somebody. There's some suggestion he may have tangled with Marcus Marshall or Alex Tagliani. This is Tagliani here with the front right flat.
Tagliani was behind him on the track.
Oh, yes. Whoops. That won't go down well back at head office.
Okay, Alex, and when you get here, we'll do fuel, tyres.
Very strange indeed.
The man in the centre there with the white shirt on is Derek Walker, the owner of the team from Walker Racing. Front wing damage on Alex's car. Been a bit of a tough weekend. Everybody lost a lot of track time early on with the ordinary weather. They had to compress a lot of their learning into a minimal amount of time. There's the new front wing assembly for the Lola. That's Rob Edwards, the team manager, standing on the wall.
Just come around Marcus, come straight in. Just nice and steady, nice and steady.
The voice of Rob Edwards you heard in the background. They rattle out those Allen-headed bolts. There's 6 of them around the front. Whole new assembly that's all set, ready to go with the same front wing adjustments on it. Hopefully no suspension damage.
Well, that's 2 top 10 spots going begging for Team Australia.
These engines don't like sitting there. Oh, look at this. Del Monte done this under caution. That's an average performance.
Didn't get any help there.
Whoa. And the team will certainly be frowning on that. They don't like seeing that kind of mistake made when there's no pressure. Greg?
This yellow period is all good for Jimmy Vasser, who currently sits 4th on the road. Remember, they waited until lap 20 to bring him in for his first stop for refueling. They say now that for the second stop, he should be able to go. The yellow working right into their plan as far as a 2-stop strategy is concerned. He may be able to stretch it to lap 40 or 41 before pitting again.
Well, this guy replaced, or actually we're not watching Del Monte at the moment, Del Monte replacing Bjorn Verdum because Verdum ran out of money in that team. Well, he's cost that team a little bit of money. Fabrizio Del Monte. Let's see if Power can get back involved. We'll be back. Well, the good news is the safety car has compressed the field, so the hard-earned space that Sebastian Bourdais gained from the last round of stops has been lost to AJ Allmendinger. But the bad news is we're hearing from the pits they may not be able to refit Will Power's tail.
No, the damage is too great to the rear wing attachment area, and it also extends towards the back of the suspension, so I don't think Will's too impressed with the state of play out there at the moment. I'm also hearing that Alex Tagliani's got a problem with the ECU on his car. He's tried to recycle it. He's not getting all of the information back in terms of his fuel mileage and burn and various other bits of electronic info. One of the Cosworth engineers there in the background. So not a good start.
Thinking about doubling the push to pass Power.
Sorry, Lee, but there was a clash there with Levin and Philippe. They've both got the arms in the air. The typical, it was your fault. No, it was yours.
That was on from about 200 metres back out, wasn't it? It just looked clumsy.
Let's have another look there. Levin almost exhausted his push to pass. He's come up on the inside of Philippe. He's a long way through. Philippe locks up first. Darryl.
Guys, Tagliani's timed this perfectly. He's in the pits.
They're taking 5 seconds of fuel.
When it was at the front end of the championship, he went on to win the title that year. He is one of the greats, turns 40 next month. And he is heading for a podium finish here, third behind Allmendinger, race leader by 14 seconds, Sebastian Bourdais. Now, a short time ago, Nelson Philippe found the wall. They're going to leave him there because there's only a few laps left to run. There he is. It'll be a local yellow flag. Greg.
Oriol Serbia was one of 7 drivers to set a qualifying time faster than last year's pole effort. Right now, he sits in 6th, and the radio message to him just a moment ago from the Newman-Haas team was, come on, let's...
He was third. He goes off the runoff.
And 4 pit this lap.
Okay, that was Neil Mickenright, so he believes there's something wrong with the car, told him pit this lap.
So Paul Tracy trying desperately to bag a victory to close the season in the Index 3. Went through a cutoff there that's been placed there for the NASCAR Busch Series.
And it looks like he's got a puncture. He has a puncture. Looks like the right rear, I believe.
Maybe the left front.
All set up and ready for you. Was there any contact with anything or no?
I think. Yeah. We're trying to get a good close look at Paul Tracy, but I think it's the right rear, which is then jacked up the left front. Can you imagine that? We thought everybody was clear. Oh, there it is.
He locked the brakes. Looked like he got bumped and took that cutoff area.
I think he got bumped by Nelson Philippe. Yeah, right rear is flat.
Yep,
right rear is flat. Here it is.
On board Dominguez, and there you can see the smoke. I didn't see contact.
I didn't see contact there.
So Paul Tracy, who was hoping to close out a frustrating 2005 with a victory,
look at Serbia.
in trouble. Oriol Serbia making some moves early. Calvin Fish.
Tracy is in, as you can see, right rear damage to that tyre. Now, he may have had a bump. He was in close quarters there with AJ Allmendinger. Maybe he cut the tyre down from that, and that caused him to go off. Timo waiting patiently. Tyres are done. He's underway.
As Tracy leaves pace. Top 3, problems. One of the Dale Coyne cars, that's Ronnie Bremer. He has stuffed the 19 car, the AMR machine, into one of the walls a ton here on the race course at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. So full course yellow for the first time today. It comes on lap number 20 of 70. The pits are not yet open.
Wow.
Bremer hit that wall a ton, Derek.
He has destroyed it. Look at that's the team. Ronnie, are you okay? Look at the debris they have to go through. I think that
Ronnie, can you copy?
The AMR team trying to talk to Bremer on the radio, but we could see him move. There's a little fire back there. He's got the headrest out. The steering wheel is off. I saw his hands moving.
This looks like a very similar crash to Del Monte. Fabrizio Del Monte ran on Thursday in the HVM car. Had a monster crash. Looked very like this. And I think it was at the same corner. Look at the fire. This is a huge crash.
The turbos, of course, located back there, and they're very, very hot. Probably a little bit of moisture there. Some debris being shoved aside. The Champ Car safety team right on the scene to help clean things up. Safety team 3, Dr. Rick Timms of Savannah, Georgia, Mike Carey, Roy Spielman, Mark Kester from Portland, Oregon.
Jan Beekes, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but does this now help Paul Tracy?
It was a fantastic move for Paul Tracy, and the fact that when everyone comes onto pit road, he will be able to close up behind the pace car and should pick up a lot of track position, assuming there's not too many lap cars that stay out.
So that's when the look goes your way. He just happened to come in.
One more look here, and you can see the aftermath after Bremer has already clouded the wall and the tire barriers, knocked the wing off. He hit hard on the right side, and it also did damage to the left. So he evidently contacted the wall both sides and spun completely around. But Bremer's out of the vehicle under his own power. He should be fine. And he returns to the HVM, the CTE HVM team next season. He's already signed to drive for them in 2006, finishing up 2005 for Dale Coyne's team, the American Medical Response number 19.
This is a 155-mile-an-hour exit in 6th gear as you come through that left-hander. That's why when you lose control there, you are going to hit the wall, i.e. the tires first, a ton. And I think Ronnie Bremer
is where the Angel is located, the monument to independence on that traffic circle. Glock on the inside. Oh, contact! He gets into Dominguez. The DHL car of Glock goes through. Dominguez was running third. Glock back on the racetrack. Dominguez with damage on the 7 car. Maybe damage on the DHL 8 car. Dominguez is dead in the water. Oh, no!
Can believe that just happened.
He's on the racing surface too, so that will be at least a local yellow, and full course caution for the second time today with 13 laps to go. The Rochefrans Indycar team, unbelievable, shaking their heads. The crowd has just exploded in anger and excitement here in Mexico City. Champ Car safety unit on the scene. Dominguez is fine, but he and Glock tangled going in.
And that is right in front, Rick, of some of the biggest grandstands at turns 1, 2, and 3. Glock stuck his nose in, then he sort of hesitated, then he went for it. Oh, Mario.
They'll see if they can bump start him after they get him pointed in the right direction. Perhaps get him back out for the last several laps. Tow rope there. Here it is again. Glock to the inside. Locked up the brakes, but there was contact. Just not enough room. Carbon fiber going away. Here it is again from the onboard.
And it doesn't look to me as if Glock is far enough alongside. No, Glock's out of control. Glock is out of control. Was not close enough. Here it is again. Inside. Dominguez has the line right there. Glock hits him again. Gets away with it.
You can see the left front wheel on Glock's car was locked. The brake was locked.
That was a kamikaze move that Glock is lucky he got away with. And unfortunately for the Mexican crowd, there's the podium going up in smoke and broken fiberglass pieces. Wow, Glock needs a bodyguard to get out of here.
They're Hero Dominguez and the Rochefrans Indycar.
Correct.
So Glock is third, but he made it. Oh, and one car off. That's Tracy. The Indycar 3 car. Tracy ran out of road, went through the grass, trying to get by Rodolfo Levine. He's got dirty tires at the moment.
Wow.
Remember, Levine is 16th a lap down. That was in turn 1. Couple of cars off the racetrack, Servia and D'Amata. Oriol Servia, is that Bourdais down there? We're being told it's Bourdais. They were battling for 5th. So the season champion, Sebastian Bourdais, full course yellow. There's been contact between the 2002 champion and the 2004 and 5 champion. Wow.
I don't know, but did Tracy run off the road to avoid these two boys
possibly
banging off at each other?
Could have been.
Bourdais believes it's over. He is getting out of the car.
So Sebastian Bourdais' bid to win 7 races this year will go by the board. They will tow Cristiano D'Amato out on the racetrack. They'll try to bump start it. Full course yellow. 3rd time today.
Wow.
2nd time in just a handful of laps. 8 to go. The pits are closed. Bourdais walks away. Here it is.
Oh, Tracy locks up.
Because he sees this in front of him? No, that was the incident where he went through. He was racing with Vassar at the time.
That all happened behind him, I think. Here it is here. Where are they?
Coming into the corner. Bourdais looked like got into D'Amata, going down into the inside, trying to pass him. And the two of them end up in the kitty litter.
And I think Tracy did take avoiding action. There is Bourdais. What a turn-up of events for the McDonald's team. Wow.
Last time Bourdais didn't see a checkered flag. How about 2 seasons ago in 2003? Bourdais had completed all but 1 lap this year, his first DNF of 2005.
Wow, his 3rd time to race here. There's the boys. Look, shaking their head, can't believe what happened. There's the cameras right side that films this reality show called Race Car Driver. Great show on WGN. Bourdais' dad's here.
Yeah.
His dad, Patrick, is here.
And the one car still mired in the kitty litter down there inside turns 1 and 2. Looked as though the situation was that Bourdais was trying to pass, trying to get by D'Amata. Got into D'Amata. They both went into the gravel, and that ends Bourdais' day. Take a look at the season that the McDonald's team has put together around Bourdais to win his 2nd straight championship. Won at Long Beach, then had the first half of the season where he had a 5th and 6th, couple of seconds. He was 5 of 6 in the second half of this year going to victory lane until today. So the McDonald's car will be towed in. Bourdais will be classified back in 15th.
But at the banquet later on tonight, he will receive the champion's prize.
The Vanderbilt Cup and the big check will go to Bourdais. Wilson the leader with 8 laps to go. Back-to-back championships for Newman Haas Racing. Paul Newman here as always to cheer his team on, but his championship driver Sebastian Bourdais will not be around at the finish. One more look, Derek.
Now Bourdais comes down the inside, locks his brakes, and does exactly to D'Amata what D'Amata did to Dominguez in Australia. Just plows right into the back of him and takes the two of them off the road. Bourdais was out of control right before he made contact with D'Amata. Calvin?
Well, D'Amato made a pit stop. He had a flat right tyre, and here you see the damage. I think right here is probably where Sebastian Bourdais' wing actually cut into D'Amato's tyre. Ultimately, it went down, and then he tore up the sidewall when he tried to get the car back to pit lane. Let's go back to Jan.
Calvin, sorry about that. And a case of Cosworth power to pass, just check with Gentilozzi and, of course, Timo Glock's situation, and we know that that is inaccurate as to what was on the actual monitor itself. Well, it turns out they have no power to pass whatsoever, and they feel that not only the other numbers that we have as far as the other people ahead of them, Justin Wilson and A.J. Allmendinger, the computers have also locked up as far as what those numbers are. So we'll check individually, but we know Glock has none at all.
Okay, well, here may be the key. On the last timed lap, right before this yellow, Glock was 0.2 of a second faster than Wilson and A.J. Allmendinger, so this could be a real good shootout.
6 laps to go, getting ready for a restart here in Mexico City. Final handful of laps of the 2005 season. Wilson and Allmendinger 1 and 2. Glock restarting 3rd, but he's got pressure from Serbia. Glock's got his hands full back there.
He got a terrible restart. Look at this, they fan out.
Tracy's there too. That's Tracy in the Indycar 3 car. They both get by Glock.
They freight train him down the inside.
So Glock gets shuffled back to 5th, and who's 3rd but Paul Tracy?
How did Paul Tracy get back up to a podium position?
I think it's a matter of what you don't normally associate with PT, patience on the racetrack.
There's Paul Gentilozzi. He cannot believe that Glock had such a poor restart, and they literally drove by him like a freight train down this front straight. Now, the chances of Glock having enough time to get back on the podium is pretty slim here, despite the speed of his car.
There'll be 5 laps to go next time by if he is out of Cosworth power to pass. The other guys may have some. Indications we heard from Jan a moment ago that the computers may not have recycled properly. We may not have exact accurate numbers for each team up front. So we're not certain who's got what left in the bank at this point. We know that Glock is out of power to pass time.
I would pretty sure Tracy and Serbia had some left, because that's the result of it right here. Look, right side of your screen, right side, Serbia. Tracy passes Serbia. Those two boys, I bet you. Ah, there's the light flashing. They were on the power to pass.
5th, Trayhorn gets 3rd in that exchange off the restart. Leader continues to be Wilson in the Intel machine. 2nd is Allmendinger. Tracy to 3rd. Cal, it's a great day now for Tracy.
It is here with Neil Mickelwright. Neil, you had to convince Paul to stay in the car. He wanted to quit when he got that penalty. He's very unhappy. It's not over till it's over here.
No, and I think that obviously emotions run high. You know, at one point I would have been quite happy for him to park it. He would have been then, you know, but the thing is we're here to race, and it isn't over until it's over. So we've got about 5 laps to go, and we're looking reasonably good right now.
We're unsure up and down pit lane with the telemetry who has any Cosworth power to pass left. What's your situation?
We have more left than anybody else. We don't have a lot, but we have about 40 seconds left.
All right, mate, we'll look forward to watching.
Okay, thanks.
And we'll see what happens. The indications are from our computer screens that Tracy has 49 seconds. It's just recycled. Glock's number is 0. It looks like Wilson has 41, Allmendinger 23. These may not be accurate. Tracy with 49. Now, last time around, PT was a 1.5 seconds behind Allmendinger. Can he do anything here in the last 5 laps, Derek?
Well, he'll definitely use this power to pass down this long straight. I don't know. With Wilson and Allmendinger still having that extra power boost, it's an uphill job. It's an uphill job for Tracy.
Serbia's right there in 4th. He is 2nd in the championship in 2005.
And they're all on the same tires except for Timo Glock.
Through the stadium corners, we're showing you what we believe to be the Cosworth power to pass numbers. Seconds remaining on that extra 50 horsepower, top of your screen. Now Glock, we're hearing, may have a little bit left in the bank as Rocket Sports continues to review their telemetry. And we'll see if Glock goes to the button here. He's right up behind Serbia for 4th.
I don't know. He doesn't look as if he has just that extra gear that gives you. We saw him earlier on use it, and he flew by Serbia down this long straight, but I don't think he has any more left.
Jimmy Vasser moves to 6th position in the Gulfstream Lola. You can see the red and white 12 car. There he is, just popping into your picture. Nelson Philippe, a very good run for Philippe today. He is 7th. Tagliani has worked his way to 8th. Andrew Ranger 9th. And how about rookie Will Power, his 2nd career start? He's looking at a top 10 in front of Michael McDowell.
One thing Glock does have is more grip. In the brake zones, he's just that bit later. As you turn into the apex, he's just that bit faster. But he cannot keep up with these boys down these long straights when they have the extra boost.
One of the great things about Champ Car racing to me, Derek, is how much variance you get in the race car over one of these 200-mile events. Now it looks as though Glock's got a bit of push in that car.
And he's got a fight. That's what he has. Here's these S's. You gradually go up through the gearbox. 140. Whoa, Servia stuck his wheel in the dirt.
That is a good way to lose a position here late in the going. There'll be 3 laps to go next time by. Working lap 67. And this may end up being a timed event. It's just on the cusp of that right now. We're about 5 seconds away from the 2-hour time limit. We may be able to get this to conclusion under green if there are no further incidents today. Wilson leads 2 seconds to the good over Allmendinger. Tracy is third, another 2 seconds back. This is the battle for fourth. Servia, Glock, and Vassar.
And Nelson Philippe is now 7th, tag for the first time solidly in that top 10. Look at the line of cars here down this straight.
Great drama late in the going here at Mexico City. Justin Wilson gunning for his 2nd victory of the season, 2nd career, and his teammate Allmendinger, they started 1-2. They're hoping to finish 1-2. Team owner Carl Russo celebrating a birthday here this weekend. And his 5-year-old son also celebrating a birthday here this weekend. So it could be a very big weekend for the Rousport team.
Glock still now has this man Servia in his sights. He at least wants to prove a point. He wants to use these faster Bridgestone Reds at least to try and get by Servia.
Servia and Glock fighting it out for 4th position. There's Paul Tracy. He has managed to work his way back to 3rd. Had that stop-and-go penalty, the black flag early in the day. Tracy in 3rd position, about 4 seconds by the leader. Cal, what's the word on pit road from their box?
Well, Neil Micklewright is like a football coach here this afternoon. He's on the radio to Paul Tracy, just egging him on. He just told him, "You're my hero. You are a driving machine right now. Go for it."
Watching Justin Wilson in the Intel 9. He is your leader. There goes Allmendinger on the front straightaway. 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time by.
Wilson just set fastest lap of the race at a 28.4. Allmendinger did a 29.2. That just proves beyond a shadow of doubt Wilson is in control here. Tracy's fastest lap on that last go around, 30.0. He is losing a second a lap to Justin Wilson.
Tracy now needs to think about holding off Servia and ending up on the podium here today. Team owner Carl Russo of the Rousport team hoping for his 2nd career Champ Car victory here in Mexico City to close out 2005. Wilson has had his hands full at times today. Allmendinger was close behind him for quite a while. He gave up the lead during the first round of stops, and then that incident after Ronnie Bremer's mishap that had the long full course yellow develop. Wilson had to fight his way from 4th on that restart to get by Tracy and Rodolfo Levine.
It is, but this has been an awesome display by this team, led by this man, Carl Russo. It's not a new team, but it really is still regarded as a new team, but one of the new breed of team growing in Champ Car, and they have proven a point today that they can come and they can take on the best in the business, being Newman Haas. They can match them for speed. And today, they matched them for strategy, race calls, mistake-free. They have executed.
White flag is in the air for Justin Wilson.
By a big chunk. Let's just bring her home, please.
1 to go in the 2005 Champ Car season.
How polite was that? Bring it home, please. What an awesome team. Technically led by David Brown. Very experienced man from Formula One. Had won world championships with Nigel Mansell of the Williams team, moved over here last year. What a difference this has made, and just what a team, a well-gelled team this is.
Commercial support coming from Intel, from CDW, from Western Union. The whole thing starting to gain momentum now here at the end of 2005 for the Rousport team. Wilson on his way, but Derek, you think back to Portland. It was just past halfway when an oil pump gave up. Wilson, I'm sure, is hearing everything behind him, any possible noise that he's imagining he's hearing right now.
And that would be cruel. That would be cruel because he has been the man all weekend.
His teammate A.J. Allmendinger is 2nd, 4.2 seconds behind. Wilson not talking on the radio. He's about half a lap away. Heading toward the stadium corners.
16 times he started a Formula One Grand Prix, but he will tell you he loves his racing today more than at any other time in his career.
Final couple of corners for Justin Wilson out of England.
That's going to be the checker, Justin. Be cautious. cautious. There's a man on the racetrack with a checkered flag. Congratulations on your second win of the season. Great drive, great drive. That was really brilliant.
Champ Car's Jim Swinthal there to wave the checkered flag trackside for Justin Wilson. His second win of the year. And a 1-2 finish for Rousport, third consecutive pole sitter to win here in Mexico City, joining Paul Tracy 2 years ago, Sebastian Bourdais in 2004. Wilson leads 66 of the 70 laps today, 3 lead changes, only 2 leaders on the day, Wilson and Rodolfo Levine, 3 cautions for 9 laps. And Justin Wilson dominates and comes home with his second win of the season here in Mexico City. What a great capper to the year for the Rousport team.
And there is no magic to being successful in racing, but you must recognize the ingredients that you have to put in to make a racing car as fast and as reliable as they're now giving Wilson and AJ Allmendinger. But I think this was an awesome display of professionalism from this Rousport team, and if you think they're good this year, wait till you see how good they're going to be next year.
And this ends quite a dry spell for Justin Wilson. This is his first podium since a third in Montreal. That was a couple of months ago, so it's been a long time since the Rousport team had tasted this sort of success. Justin Wilson giving the huge crowd of fans here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez a big thumbs up. 66 of 70 laps in the lead today for Justin Wilson as the fans salute the drivers, their heroes here in Mexico City. Wilson with Paul Tracy, AJ Allmendinger in tow. Allmendinger gets second, Tracy ends up third. Servia finishes his second place championship season with a fourth place finish here in Mexico City. Timo Glock gets fifth in front of Jimmy Vasser, who is sixth. Nelson Philippe, a very good day for Philippe, in seventh in the Wellbox machine. Alex Tagliani comes home eighth in front of Andrew Ranger. Will Power gets a top 10 in his second career start. I think Power's a guy to watch in the future for Team Australia.
When they put him in a test in Portland, they just immediately knew he is on the power, he is the business. Look at Tracy smokes the tires. Lots of different storylines today, and they unfolded about every 15 laps. But the saddest man here is Mario Dominguez.
Dominguez and Cristiano D'Amato, who was taken out of that late race incident, bumping with Sebastian Bourdais. D'Amato was in the top 5. He ends up 14th. We'll be back to talk to the winner. Justin Wilson receiving the congratulations, the honors in victory lane here in Mexico City. Wilson caps off the 2005 Champ Car World Series season with a dominating win at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez down to Iambicus.
And of course his teammate made it a Rousport 1-2. A great day for you, but just a moment ago, Paul Tracy and you, who had an altercation on the racetrack, also had an altercation here. What was that about?
PT's an idiot, you know? I hate to agree with Sebastian on anything, but I might have to agree with him on this one. You know, he's the dirtiest driver out here. You know, he messed up. He ran into Rodolfo, and he just drove me straight into the grass to hold me off, you know? And I don't know if that did anything to my race. I don't know if I could have got Justin, but, you know, all from there on, I was just having to chase him down. And, you know, the Bridgestone tires were great, but, you know, if you ran them too hard, you were going to abuse them. And I just had to run too hard to try to get around him, to try to catch Justin. And from then on, it was just a catching game.
All right, well, thank you, AJ. Congratulations on the Rousport 1-2.
Now the drama
Calvin?
in that, of course. Let's hear from Calvin Fish.
Okay, down here with PT. Great drive, Paul, coming from the back twice, but AJ is pretty angry right now. Well, how do you read the situation?
He probably has a right to be. I blocked him pretty hard, and you know, it was a shame for what happened because I was faster than Rodolfo. I was catching him 2 seconds a lap. And, you know, I got by him on this restart, and then he dive bombed me. We touched. He got a flat. It screwed my exit up, and AJ was coming, and I said, shit, I'm not letting him go by. And I blocked him hard. So, you know, I ended up getting a penalty. You know, probably I deserved the penalty. And, you know, we had to come from the back twice. So, you know, we had the fastest car out there. It just didn't have any luck today.
All right, Paul, thanks very much. Let's go over to Jan.
And with our race winner, Justin Wilson, amazing day for you. You have to bring your shareholders more often. Every time they come, you're at the top of the podium. Tell us, in the middle of the race, you had a very tight moment. I believe it was Paul Tracy, Rodolfo Levine, and you had to thread the needle.
Yeah, they went side by side into the corner. Paul got ahead and Rodolfo dived back down inside. It was a great move, but they both went straight on to the next corner, and they trying to throw it away. So I just hung back and got the run out the corner.
And other than that moment, was it clear sailing for you?
Yeah, pretty much. Once we got through the first corner, it got tight. Myself and AJ, we both went in pretty hot, and I locked the fronts, and it was a sign of things to come that I couldn't get the car to turn. So that was close, but that first stint was tricky. Just had to hang on there and wait till we could change something in the pits. And the Roost Sport number 9 with Intel have done a great job all weekend. We managed to change it in that pit stop and make it better, and we just got quicker and quicker as the day went on.
Congratulations, a great way to finish the season.
Thank you.
A dominant run for Justin Wilson, 66 laps led, the most of any driver this season. His second win. He's the 3rd repeat winner in Champ Car this year. Wilson defeats Allmendinger. Tracy runs 3rd in front of Serbia and Glock. Vassar gets 6th, and Will Power, the rookie from Australia, his 2nd career start. He comes home with a top 10. We'll come back to wrap up the season right after this. Back in Mexico City at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez victory lane ceremonies going on. Champagne about to be sprayed. Justin Wilson, the winner here today at Mexico City. His 2nd victory of the season. AJ Allmendinger, the runner-up. Paul Tracy going to spray each other down with champagne, if nothing else. Some harsh words spoken, and the interesting thing, Derek, Tracy was one of Allmendinger's earliest supporters in the go-karting days a few years ago.
Very much a mentor to AJ Allmendinger. So when emotions boil over like this, I'm actually a bit surprised at the end of the race, AJ was still that emotional about it. But hey, it is so competitive these days. Sure. This is the type of reaction you get from these great athletes. But remember, Wilson, not only did he start on the pole and win this thing, he also set fastest race lap. Yeah. I don't think anybody was going to beat him today in a straight fight, and I don't care what tires they were on.
Well, let's have a look at the final championship standings. We see Paul Tracy. He ends up 4th. 19 behind Justin Wilson, who comes home 3rd in the standings. Bourdais and Serbia, a 1-2 championship finish for Newman Haas. Allmendinger is 5th in the standings. Vassar ends up 6th in front of Tagliani. Timo Glock 8th, and he is the Roche France Rookie of the Year. Mario Dominguez, Andrew Ranger in his first year, ending up 10th. And a very good season for Andrew Ranger.
And as you look down through the rest of the standings, Mario Dominguez was taken in front of the grandstand here, given a Mexican flag, and got a huge ovation because they appreciated what he almost did today, stand on that P3 on the podium.
Great ending to the season for the Roost Sport team. They run 1-2. It's been a wild year, a terrific year of Champ Car World Series racing. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage all season long. A lot of folks we want to thank here in the next couple of moments. That wraps up our coverage of Bridgestone, presenting the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford for the 2005 season. We thank you very much for joining us all year long. Be sure to look for the Champ Car World Series in 2006. Our season begins on the streets of Long Beach, Sunday, April the 9th. Up next on Speed, the MotoGP World Championship, the Valencia Grand Prix. For Derek Daly, Jan Beekes, Calvin Fish, Ralph Shaheen, Chris McClure, and a host of others, I'm Rick Benjamin. Thanks for watching, and so long from Mexico City. Now, some of the greatest moments of the season.